Morning, guys. Welcome to Coffee Chat. Mmm. Mm. Boy, it is just so calm and still out this morning. Just amazing. Hear all these birds just tweeting around is something else. And look at guys, look at how green the trees are back in there. Truly, they have filled in big time and it really looks beautiful. Glad I can come share it with you. Well, I sure hope you had a fabulous weekend and had a lot of time to spend with your family and friends and just enjoying the celebration of Easter. I really hope it was a great one for you. I'll tell you, it is something else to actually be able to just kind of take some time out and get away from all the hustle and bustle and really just kind of calm yourself and just enjoy one another. And having said that, guys, hmm, one of the articles that I was reading, and I have three I wanted to talk about, but one of them particularly was folks are now turning to AI for therapy. Yep, you got it. They're not going to other people a lot. There's a trend being moved out there that a lot of folks are going out there and they're actually signing on to a lot of these AI sites to get therapy so that they can talk about whatever and, listening ear. And I just thought, what a sad, sad state of affairs that we're distancing ourselves from one another and actually getting so much more plugged into this whole electronic media system that we're even going there for our counsel and our comfort. And I thought we need to reach out and really spend time with one another in a much more intimate way, developing those friendships and establishing those lines of support. One of my favorite quotes out of the Bible is, as iron sharpens iron, so a man sharpens a man. And obviously we're talking about mankind there. It's not a man to man deal. Not of course, going out there and just spending time with one another as people, that is so vitally important. And I sure hope that you're just strengthening those ties with your family and with your friends, making new friends and new relationships as well. That's so vitally important. Now, guys, I'll tell you, that's two other articles that I was reading. Boy, are they ever telltale. Now, the first one is coming out of the European Central Bank, and this is Christine Lagarde herself, literally admitting that the central bank digital currencies being issued for the euro are going to have built right into it controls, social controls, spending controls, and not only how much you can spend, that's the one, but where you can actually spend it. And I'm telling you, that is, that whole process right there is going to be picking winners and losers. And they are going to literally be, corralling people right into the chutes that they want them to go with these type of social controls built right into their monetary instruments. And that is something that should absolutely not be allowed, because once you go down that road, I'm telling you what, there is no coming back. And in fact, you have just acquiesced to the forfeiture of your personal liberty in a massive, massive way. Now, the thing is this, most Europeans don't support it. Most of the rank and file of the folks out there on the street aren't supporting this, but it's happening to them anyway because their politicians and the powers that be really don't give two hoots what the general population feels, thinks, or what their opinion is on it. They're just storming ahead, and you're literally watching, basically, as far as I'm concerned, a police state being formed right before your very eyes. And I think this is going to literally explode into some major conflicts. I mean, look what you got going on in France. Now, a lot of the major media out there, they're not even reporting these riots. They're not even showing that, hey, the majority of the population is trying to fight back on a lot of this stuff. Nope. They're just going footlong. You're not hearing about it. It's barely even talked about. Everything's all this distraction on, Trump and all this kind of stuff like that. I'm telling you guys, We need to be a whole lot more wiser and sharper and not buy the narratives just because that's what they're pumping out. It's kind of like, going into a restaurant and sitting down there and you're opening up the menu and have all these choices, but the only thing that they're coming out with, is the pork and beans kind of deal. Well, what about all these other, oh, no, you don't want that. You want this and that kind of stuff. And that's what's really going on. We're being force fed a narrative, and it's one that they want us to consume. And that's where your critical thinking comes into play, where you just don't buy every little line that they're selling, and you go out there and you do your digging. Now, does that require some effort? You bet it does. Don't get spoon-fed or get used to being spoon-fed your information, even when it comes to even my channel or channels like this. Hey, look, if I come out and say something, I hope to high heaven you go out there and fact check it for yourself, because I'll tell you what, the reason I don't actually put my articles that I read into the comment section is because I want you to go out there and do the digging and research it yourself, because the answers that you find for yourself are the ones that you're going to be the most convinced by. I absolutely believe that, and I encourage it as well. Now, the third article, this one's a biggie. In the last 2 weeks, lending through the average banks has literally the most reduction on record. Guys, that says volumes of this current liquidity crisis and really where it's going. And if you think it's bad now, you just give it a couple more weeks and you see just how tight-fisted a lot of these financial institutions are going to become. And this whole economy is built around a debt-driven model, guys. It's built on this liquidity. And when that liquidity crunch comes, I'm telling you what, you'll watch the economy practically come to a screeching halt, and they are going to either have to turn on the taps or monetary policies are going to come in force in such a big way. And of course, we're seeing the absolute attack on the dollar as the dominant currency, world reserve currency in the world. And when the whole thing goes down, it is going to literally, it starts off, it seems like a slow drop, and then all of a sudden, brrr, bang, it happens so fast. And so I'm just out there encouraging you, get prepared for it. Put a little bit aside, maybe keep a little bit more cash at home than what you would normally have. Remember this, guys, in terms of that, there is only 6% of physical currency represented by everything that's on deposit. So not everyone's going to be able to have that cash when they want it. And you watch and see if we don't start seeing cashless branches and a lot of the ATMs being removed like they've already done around the world, and specifically there out in Australia, where a lot of banks don't even have cash in the branches and have literally removed their ATMs, completely going more and more towards that cashless society. Which, by the way, is going to lead to what, guys? It's going to lead to the introduction of central bank digital currencies. If they completely wipe out the utilization of cash, number one, they've wiped out your anonymity in spending, haven't they? And on top of that, number two, they've just made it that much more easy for folks to digest a central bank digital currency. And we know for a fact that the Federal Reserve has been out there pumping the idea of having a fourth, element to our monetary instruments, right? So you got your store of value, you got unit of account, you got your medium of exchange, and now they want to implement social control. That is literally what the Federal Reserve has been forwarding over to finance committees, and it was not for distribution. They don't want us to know about. And by the way, guys, fact check this, dig into this one. With the FedNow system, do you realize that there is a type of a CBDC being utilized interbank in that system? Although it's not issued out to the public yet, it's being issued out to institutions, and through the back door, they're able to monitor spending and apply controls. And it's already happening. FedNow is coming out, I think, in June or July, and it's already in place. Now, you can dig this information up for yourself. I encourage you to do it, because I'll tell you, it will be a big eye-opener and something that you definitely want to be aware of. Well, guys, I'll tell you what. It looks like it's gearing up to be an absolute beautiful Monday. And I sure hope that you have a fantastic week. Now, we got a great video planned for you later on today. And until then, guys, I sure hope it is a great start for your week. And we'll talk to you later. Take care.